Liberalize downstream sector now. ATIKU cancels federal government. Former Vice President and presidential candidate of the People Democratic Party (PDP) in the 2019 elections, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar has again called on the President Muhammadu Buhari's led government to liberalize the nation's downstream oil sector. Atiku, who stated this on Sunday in a press statement issued on his behalf by his media aide, Paul Ibe, noted that the current practice of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) using scarce foreign exchange to import fuel at subsidized rates is not sustainable. He urged the Buhari's administration to aggressively drive the enhancement of our local capacity to process larger quantities of our crude for domestic consumption and not be fixated over price fixing. According to the PDP chieftain, there is also the need to build the enabling infrastructure to add value to the economy via the development of petrochemical facilities. This will allow the country to impact upon so many sectors, including agriculture, pharmaceuticals, textiles, and construction, as well as food processing. He quoted the United Nations Industrial Development Organization (UNIDO) as saying that up to 1 million new jobs can be created in Nigeria within 10 years through investment in petrochemicals and petrochemicals-based activities. He had this to say on the propriety of fixing of the pump price for the premium motor spirit, also known as fuel. The price of crude and fuel can fall even further or go back up without notice. Nigeria, as it stands today, does not even have the money to continue to be involved in backstopping fuel prices at any level. And the way to go is to liberalize the downstream subsector and not to fix prices as long as the marketers can import on their own and sell. Thus, the long-term strategy to swim out of this embarrassing situation is to prioritize investments to ramp up our domestic refining capacity and ensure that Nigeria starts to process domestically at least 50% of its current crude oil output of 2 million barrels per day. This, he said, can be achieved within a short period of time if the government encourages private sector participation under a liberalized downstream. Atiku's position is premised on the planned reduction of PMS pump price. He regretted that Nigeria is currently the largest importer of fuel in the world, noting that not only is this counterproductive for the economy, it equally has significant balance of trade implications, especially in this season of COVID-19 instigated economic meltdown, due to refined oil products being by far the single largest import item on which Nigeria spends its diminishing hard-earned foreign currency. And given the extensive capital outlay that this may command, our goal should be to privatize existing refineries and create opportunities for new ones in our efforts to diversify the economy, generate additional revenues, and create jobs. The reports that our refineries did not produce petrol in 8 months even makes the case for the privatization of the 4 refineries compelling to pave way for private investment that will spur efficiency, productivity, and profitability, he added. So, my people, that's the news reaching us. Thank you very much for your support. For those of you that have subscribed, thank you very much. We do appreciate your subscription. For those that haven't subscribed yet, please do press the subscribe button and also the notification bell, and do well to press the ring part of it so you can be notified as soon as we upload any news. And also leave your comments down below so we can have a decent conversation about what is going on in our country and what Mr. Abubakar has said. So let's dive into the news. Let's do some analysis and see what we can get out of this. Yes, the former vice president and presidential candidate 2019 of the presidential elections, Mr. Abubakar ATIKU, has given a very strong message to Mr. Buhari and his government. He has first of all said the importing of fuel at subsidized rates is not sustainable in Nigeria. Well, if we look at that, to be honest, he has said right, because in the scheme of things, Nigeria is an oil-rich country, is among the top in the world oil-rich country. But unfortunately, when it comes to production, when it comes to refining, we are nowhere to be found in the world. Even as China, Venezuela, all of them, they overtook Nigeria in terms of refining. So all we do, we've got the raw material, we've got the raw products, but we still depend on importing fuel from overseas. You see, which is obviously not good for a country that is developing. If we call ourselves a developing country, then we should be able, at least the minimum, to be able to refine these resources, this crude oil that we've got, but that's not the case. That's not the case of the government. The government are not thinking towards that respect. They're not thinking towards that position. All they want to do is that let's get the crude oil. The funny thing is that the crude oil is gotten here, and we even have multinationals that even drills the oil and take it out of the country. And at the end of the day, something that we've got, we keep on importing and buying it at ridiculous rates. So we've got the raw materials, but we don't make the prices. The other countries, they put the prices of our product, our materials, our raw materials, crude oil, and sell it back to us at their intended prices, and there's nothing we can do. And for us to be importing crude oil at this point in time, to be importing fuel, a refined crude oil at this point in time is unbelievable in the 21st century, to talk about the fact that our country is a growing country. And also he has said as well that we should enhance our local capacity to produce larger quantities of crude oil for domestic consumption. That's the right thing to do. That's the step in the right direction. If we start to enhance our local capacity, our refineries and all that, we can start producing as much quantity of petroleum products that we need. But again, that's not the case of the government. That's not the kind of thing that the government is looking at the point in time. And again, he also said something very important as well. He says we should enable infrastructure to add value to the economy. If the government gets up and say, let's build all the infrastructure that is needed for this economy to grow and enhance crude oil production and crude oil refining, that will absolutely add value to the country. But yes, again, the government is not thinking in that respect. And not to forget that this also would create new jobs. Abubakar has said that if the government thinks about this, think about the infrastructure and that, within 10 years, we can create 1 million jobs. We can create a million jobs for Nigerians, which indeed, with enhancement of crude oil, of petroleum products, and building the refineries, get them to work, it's definitely going to create jobs, because more people will be working, trying to refine this, trying to get the crude oil and all that. It will enhance jobs, and it will create more jobs for us. But unfortunately, our government is still not thinking in this respect, And also, the price of crude falls anytime without notice, like what has happened to us now. The price of crude oil has gone even to the minimal level, more than the threshold. lower than the threshold, and it's put the whole country in a chaos. You see, the government is running up and down because the prices of petroleum has fallen, you know. So, and Nigeria totally depend on crude oil for survival. Our economy is hinged on crude oil. Now, the prices are gone down. You know, the whole economy is unstable at the moment. You see, so Abubakar Malami has given a strong warning, has given a strong message to the Buhari-led government. He says, liberalize downstream sector now. And I think it's paramount at this point in time that the downstream sector is liberalized, you know. Let us begin to mine our own resources. Let us begin to produce. Let us begin to refine petroleum products. Let's get the refiner, the 4 refineries. Let's get them working, because it's unbelievable that these refineries are not working, are dysfunctional. You know, and we have to depend on few products, crude oil, petrol, diesel, and all of that from overseas. You know, it's unbelievable. My people, that is the news reaching us, and Abubakar has sent a very strong message to Buhari's led government at the moment, and say, you know what? It is imperative. We need to liberalize the downstream sector now. The refineries has to be privatized at the minute for it to work effectively. So that's the news reaching us, my people. Let us hear your comment. Let us hear your take regarding this. Also, leave your comment. And also, if you haven't subscribed once again, please do press the subscribe button and also the notification bell so you can get the news as soon as we upload them. Thank you very much, my people. We do appreciate you coming out here. God bless you until I come your way again. Bye-bye.